Hey, it's Samantha, and this is Ever After Adventures, where we chase the magic, outsmart the chaos, and make Disney work for us. So let's rope drop this. Okay, real talk. You are not going to Disney World to shop. You're going for the rides, you're going for the memories, you're going for the snacks. And then suddenly you're home unpacking. Like, why do I have 4 bags of merchandise and no clean clothes? Because same. And here's the thing that no one talks about enough. Disney is not just selling products, they are selling identity. Like, you don't just buy something, you become a Disney person in that moment. I know I have fallen victim to it. And today we're breaking that all the way down. We're going through the top 5 most purchased items in Walt Disney World, starting at number 5 and working our way to the one thing that everyone buys. And I'm giving you the history, the psychology, and the strategy so you don't walk out like, wait, how did I spend $400 in World of Disney? Quick vibe check before we start. Are we A, I just don't buy anything at Disney? You're lying. B, just one small thing. It's never one small thing. Or C, we blacked out in the Emporium. No judgment. This is a safe place. I know I can be a mixture of all 3. All right, let's get into it. The pixie dust. Here's what Disney got right. And honestly, it is genius level. They've turned merchandise into part of the experience. Like, you are not just buying a souvenir anymore, you are participating in the magic. And this is not new. Disney has been doing this since the early days, starting with simple character toys and evolving into what is now basically a full-blown lifestyle brand. Merchandise isn't an afterthought. It is baked into your park day. Ride exits funnel into the shop. Limited editions create urgency. Items connect to emotional moments. And it's intentional. And honestly, it works. Because when your kid hugs that plush or you put on those ears, it's not going to be just a purchase anymore. It's a memory anchor. And that's why these 5 items dominate. And I don't know about you, but I know I will pack 1 or 2 less items so that I can purchase them when I'm there. And I always leave space in my suitcase because I know that I'm not leaving Disney without something, no matter how many times I go. Even my last trip that I went, I was like, I'm probably not going to buy a shirt. I don't need a shirt. I have enough. I love my shirts. I love my long sleeves. And I found the perfect like rugby jersey color. It's like that light blue. It's beautiful. I could not resist it. So I bought it, of course. And there's just so many things. I always have to get a popcorn bucket, especially at the Halloween time. And the limited edition. Sometimes when I go into World of Disney, I find 5 things. Sometimes I find nothing. But either way, I know I'm coming home with something. So let's get into the plot twist. Here's the part that people do not love hearing. Some of these items are overhyped. They're totally impulse driven, and sometimes they are just not worth it. And I say that as someone who has absolutely fallen victim to all of them. Disney merchandise hits you in 3 ways. So first is the emotion. Your kid wants it, or you want it. Like, I mean, I know I want it. You feel like maybe this is your one and only trip. Your kid loves this character. You have never seen something like this before. So that's where the emotion comes in. Next is the environment. You are literally in Disney World. Like, you are getting the sense and the feel, go back to the environment. But like, if you were just at a random Disney store in the middle of Pennsylvania, like, you maybe wouldn't feel the same. And then you're going to have the urgency. So the limited edition. And it's so interesting because this past year we went during Halloween, and then we went a couple weeks later right at the start of Christmas. And we were kind of towards the end of Halloween season, and they started putting Christmas stuff out, and it was like limited edition, only 2 per person. And you immediately are like, are these going to be the biggest thing? And then we were there like 2 weeks later, and those things were still on the shelves. And I was like, yeah, I didn't really like those things anyway, but I almost bought into it because it was saying limited edition, you can only buy 2. Again, this is why we say we need a $90 sweatshirt in 95-degree heat, which I will also say, I looked at all of my stuff and I thought, why do I have so many Spirit jerseys? Why do I have so many sweatshirts when most of the time that I'm Disney, I'm not wearing those? That is the psychology of how Disney gets you. Today, I'm not just telling you about what people buy, I'm telling you what's worth it, what's not, and how to shop like you actually have a plan. So let's get into the magic move, the 5 most purchased Disney items ranked. Let's go. Number 5 is Loungefly backpacks. These are everywhere, and if you've been to Disney recently, you've seen them. They are mini backpacks. They are themed to everything from classic characters to super niche drops. And here is what is wild. Loungefly wasn't always a Disney thing. It actually started as a small brand making pop culture accessories, and then Disney partnered with them and it exploded. And now it is a full on collector culture. People don't just buy one, they collect them. And I actually saw someone on my Instagram today who has this big, beautiful, like bookshelf of all Loungeflies. And we have three. We got the 50th anniversary one, which we love that. We were there in August, my husband and I, we saw this really cool Halloween one. And I thought, well, this is definitely not going to be there when we come back for Halloween. So let me get it now. And I'm super happy we did. And then for Christmas, my husband got me a Nightmare Before Christmas one, which I am super excited to bring when we go down in October. But thinking about why they sell so well, they're functional. You can actually use them in the park, especially if you're a Disney adult. Like as a parent, I'm bringing my diaper bag and I have the stroller. But when you're a Disney adult and you're there without kids, or you're teenagers and you don't need all of these things but you need something to hold them, you either are going to have a purse, you're going to have one of the fanny pack type bags, or now you can have these. They're also Instagram ready. These are beautiful. Like the one that my husband got me for the Nightmare Before Christmas, it is just darling. I love the colors. It's like a deep purple and then it lights up, of course. And so at night when you're in the park, it's going to be there. The Cinderella 50th anniversary one, that definitely played into the emotion. So it was like their first trip that we went, but it's also like a beautiful color. But kind of the crazy thing is like that we don't really use them a lot at home. But the Halloween ones we might. They also are constantly dropping limited editions, so that kind of buys into the hype. But here is the truth. While they are practical for some people, they are not park practical for everyone. They are small, they can get heavy, and they don't fit much. So again, if you're a mom with snacks, water bottle, wipes, this is not your bag. This is your cute bag that you can like wear as you're walking through and maybe have your phone or something in it. So here's the strategy. If you want one, buy it before your trip or on Shop Disney, because once you're in the park, it's game over and you're going to buy it. So let me know in the comments if you have purchased any Loungeflies and how many do you have? So let's get into number 4, plushies. Listen, if you have kids like myself, this is unavoidable. I don't care if they're Disney or not, but plushies are like, my kids have a million of them and it is like, there's too many. However, honestly, this is one of the oldest forms of Disney merchandise. We are talking back to the early Mickey Mouse dolls. This is where it all started. Disney built its empire on characters, and plushies are the physical version of that connection. And now there are entire lines of plushies, like the weighted plush, the seasonal exclusives. They go on and on. Whenever a new movie comes out, a new holiday time, and why they sell. Again, emotional attachment. First of all, kids see their characters come to life. Like when we went to Epcot the first time with our kids, my husband and mother-in-law loved to buy things, and especially the plushies for them. But they bought Willow a Nemo, and we weren't even really into Nemo, but like the pictures of it, the way she like loved it in the moment and seeing it come to life near the Nemo ride, it was just an immediate comfort item, which is another reason why they sell. And here's the reason. You will try to say no, and then your child will carry that plush through the park like it's their best friend, just like Willow did. And suddenly you're like, okay, fine. This is actually adorable until you get home and you have all these big plushies. So here's the strategy. Set a 1 plush per trip rule before you go. Let them choose intentionally, not impulsively. So maybe have a conversation about it before you go. Which ones are we looking for? And so you can kind of make it into like a fun game as opposed to like when you're leaving a ride and you see something and you just like buy it impulsively, that's where you're going to be leaving with a full Toy Story collection. And let me tell you a funny story, not about a plush, but my son, when we were there in October or November, I forget which one, he saw this dino, the dino from Toy Story, and he was like, I want this, I love this, whatever. And all he asked Santa for was a dino that was shipped to our house. Don't you know he opens it on Christmas morning from Santa, and that's not the dino that he wanted. He wanted just a regular dino. So again, kids are also in the moment and will forget about these things too. So if you just have a plan, you can set that boundary of this is it. All right, let's move on to number 3, one that I mentioned before kind of, but I have a million of these. Spirit jerseys, the oversized, expensive, somehow everyone has one shirt. Spirit jerseys, they started gaining traction around the mid 2010s, and Disney ran with it. They ran with it hard. Now they're seasonal, they're park specific, they're resort specific, they're event exclusive, and people love them, myself included. I always get one at Halloween season. Why? Because they are comfortable, they have great aesthetic, and they're like subtle, and they're subtle Disney adult energy. It's like saying I love Disney, but like chic. But here's the reality check. First of all, they are hot. Most of the time when you're going during a warm time. They are expensive. They are very trend based. So if you're buying one, make sure you buy one that you actually love and not just the newest drop, because these cycle fast. Like I said, I will always, well, not always, but like I will probably buy one every time we go in October, just because I love Halloween in general, and I feel like they have good Halloween ones. But then when we went around Christmas time, I was like, I don't really like love these Spirit jerseys. I don't need one. And so, yeah, I mean, I have like 3 or 4 regular ones, and then I probably have like 3 Halloween ones. So, I mean, I guess that's a lot. So let's talk about the strategy for this. Skip the impulse buy in the park, which is hard. You can look at the designs online first and see if you like one, or you can wait until the end of your trip to buy it. If you're still thinking about it, then it's going to be worth it. All right, let's get into number 2. This is something that I have not been a part of, but I love to watch, and I'm thinking maybe I'll be a part of this community in the future. I don't really understand it, to be honest, but it is Disney pins. This one has history. Pin trading started around the year 2000 as part of the Millennial Celebration, and it became full-blown phenomenon. We're talking thousands of designs, cast member trading, limited editions, entire collector communities. This is not just a souvenir, and this is an activity, and kids love it, and adults get obsessed with it. And it's going to turn your park day into a scavenger hunt. And that's the reason that like I would love to get into it, because I love me a good game. I love a good scavenger hunt. I feel like there's a really cool community in pin trading. And again, I don't really understand it, but it seems like it's really cool. Okay, but of course, like everything, there's a catch. It can get expensive fast. Starter packs turn into trades turn into collecting, and suddenly you're like, wait, how many pins do I have? And why do I need all these pins? Like, what are you doing with them before, you go? So here's a strategy. Get a starter set before your trip. Amazon is cheaper, but you do need to make sure that these are legit pins, which is something that I have learned about through kind of seeing Facebook posts. Like, you want to make sure that they are the actual Disney pins, not the imposter ones. I guess I didn't even know that there's like a thing for that. You want to set a trading goal. For example, like you want to trade 5 pins total. You want to focus on the experience, not the quantity, because the magic is in the interaction. It's not in the pile. All right, so we got through the top 4, and now we are on to the number 1. And I'm sure you guys probably know what this is because it has not been mentioned. It is Mickey ears. Of course, there was no other option. Mickey ears are the most iconic and most purchased item at Disney. And I am going to probably have an unpopular opinion, but I do not love the Mickey ears. I'm more of a hat girly. I love a hat. The Disney ears are kind of uncomfortable, but like whatever. People love them. There are some beautiful ones. There was one, this girl does custom ones. They're like $50 each and very much worth it because they're beautifully hand painted. But like spending $40 on ears that I'm probably not going to wear outside of the park are just like not for me, where I wore this today and I would rather spend the $40 on a hat. But anyway, they've been around since the 1950s and they were originally created, those OG ones for the Mickey Mouse Club, and they became a symbol of Disney fandom almost instantly. And now, they've evolved so much. There's sequin ears, there's bridal ears, there's character ears, there's seasonal collections. There are literally hundreds. And here is why they dominate. It's an instant transformation. Like when you put on the Disney ears, you are Disney. You are Disney. And it's funny because something I say, like when you're in the Disney bubble, like wearing all this Disney cool stuff, you are super cool. And then like when I get home, at least as like an adult who loves Disney, I feel a little like weird wearing all my Disney cool stuff. But when you're in the park, that is so cool. You're photo ready. Like I love seeing the ears match the outfits, match like, the background, or like if you're going to meet someone from Toy Story and you have your Toy Story ears, like it is cool. And everybody wears them. You put them on and like you are in it. But let's be honest, like I said, you're going to buy them. You're going to wear them and you're never going to wear them again once you get home, because like I've never been to Wegmans and saw someone wearing Mickey ears. And if I have, it's very questionable. So here's the strategy, like buy a pair from home or buy one meaningful pair. And I will say for this, unlike the pins, the knockoff ones from Amazon or Etsy or like any of those, they're just as good. And sometimes they're like kind of better. I got like this really beautiful Cinderella one that I got so many compliments on. I was like, I think it was like $20 from Amazon. Do not buy multiple just because, and choose something tied to your trip. So like birthday, first visit, make it count. And that, my friends, is the number one thing. I'd love to know what your favorite Mickey Mouse ears are, or if you're like a Disney person. Let's get into the if I were you. All right, here's the part where I give it to you straight. If I were you going into Disney right now, I would not say we're not buying anything, because that's just not realistic. Instead, I would say we're choosing our magic on purpose. Before your trip, you're going to decide on 1 to 2 items per person, and you're going to talk about it with your kids or with yourself or with your partner. And you're going to set those expectations early, because here's what happens otherwise. You spend your entire trip saying no, or you spend your entire trip overspending, and neither of those feel good. And you are in control before you get there, not in the gift shop, not after the meltdown, not when your kid is holding that plush before. So make a plan. Because when you remove the chaos, you actually enjoy the magic more. And now, my friends, it is time for the Main Street sign-off. So here is your takeaway. Disney merchandise is not random. It's emotional, it's strategic, and it's everywhere. But when you understand it, you can stop feeling overwhelmed and you can start making choices that actually feel good. So let me know if you liked this episode, if you think these are the top 5 things, or if you think there's something else that should have been in those top 5 most purchased things. Let me know also, again, as always, if there's a topic that you want to talk about or if there's a trend you want to talk about. We're getting into summer season. Today, it just dropped that there are going to be half after 2 p.m. tickets, which is really cool. I'm going to look a little bit more into that. I'm not sure if financially it's the best choice, but maybe we could talk about that, or Cool Kids Summer is coming up too. But just as always, we are not doing Disney tired, overwhelmed, and broke, and not on my watch. So if this helped you, share it with a Disney friend, screenshot it, tag me, tell me what you always end up buying, and I'll see you next time. Until then, keep the magic, skip the chaos, and I'll meet you on Main Street.